we're just banking on that Def Jam Fight for New York sitting in there, you know. That thing is worth what we paid for the whole thing. So we're still staying at home, staying safe, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, game hunting season is pretty much canceled. But, you know, we got to have games. We got to get something going. Business has stopped. Action has stopped. And I'm not okay with that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get some online, like we're getting everything else. I won an auction for a lot of scratched original Xbox games, so that may or may not be profitable. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm looking at the pictures on there and you got the common stuff and most of it looks pretty good, honestly. And there's that one gem sticking out. They always do that. They make sure you can see it, that you know is worth the entire amount of what you're going to pay for this thing. If just that one game works, you're going to be in the gravy, and that's what you got to hope for. So starting with this lot, it's here, and I'm looking at it, and again, the condition, I mean, it leaves a lot to be desired, and we're just banking on that Def Jam Fight for New York sitting in there, you know. That thing is worth what we paid for the whole thing. We're all in on this, our $25, that's about what we spent on this lot, and that's fine. I think we'll easily make that back here. A lot of these games are common, but most of them are good, or at least decent. Problems I'm seeing initially are a little bit of moisture damage on some of the box art. That's going to hurt us because we were hoping some of these that were complete in box, you know, might be able to bring a little bit more coin than the ones that are not. And we're also hoping that we can find boxes and manuals for some of these games that don't have them. I have a massive supply of boxes, manuals, and box art. You know, you just find these things over time, you know. Oh, I don't know where the games went. Well, can I have the box? Yeah, sure. You know, you just, you get that stuff as you go, and you want to. You always want to ask for that stuff, because you never know when you're going to need it, you know. I've had instances where I've had like a Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3 disc sitting here, and then I realize, oh my god, the box and the manual right here, you know, in this case, and it's like, well, that just got more expensive. That just got more valuable. So we're entering the testing phase and we're checking these out. You know, there's some decent games here. There's some fun games here. You know, first of all, we've got a nice pile of Star Wars stuff. Not all of which is extraordinarily valuable, but it's saleable. It's desirable. One that stands out is this complete in-box copy of Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with this game, but it's Star Wars and it's complete. So, yeah, that's a good base point to kick off from here. It's in decent shape. Not really any damage going on here, and the game is playing fine. Now, I don't know how much fun this game is. This one starts out like one of those where there's no indicator of where to go or what to do, but it still looks like it could be a fun game. You know, I wouldn't mind playing through some of it, but anyway. Before we can even think about keeping anything out of this lot, we've got to make sure we've made our money back. No keeping games until we're in the gravy. So first and foremost, we got to know if this Def Jam copy works. It's rough around the edges, of course. It's one of the rougher ones in the pile. Now, I've resurfaced hundreds and hundreds of discs. I'm hoping we can save this thing if there is a problem with it. The game boots up and it gets into the matches, but intermittently we're having some problems here. We're having some long load times, which I don't recall this game having. And on occasion, it has gone to the old in-game screen of, you know, the disc may be dirty or damaged. That's a bad sign, because you instantly know that some of the gouges, some of the scratches are deep. I'm going to go ahead and buff all the games that visibly need it so that we get that out of the way. So we fire up the old JFJ, you get them on there, you get the heat on them, you get the buff going. We drop them down into some nice, cool, crisp water and give them that wonderful afterbath. We're gently wiping with some old baby washcloths that are really microfiber, you know, definitely not going to scratch them. And we get these things looking really good. And Oh, I've got high hopes for this lot. If we can get some of these working, I think we're going to be in the green. I think we're going to be glad we bought this lot. So I tried Def Jam again, and this time it won't even get to the matches without giving me the error screen that the disc is dirty or damaged. And after that, all you can do is just sand the crap out of it one last time, and it's kind of like throwing the Hail Mary. I mean, you're either going to break it or it's going to work, and it can't be more broke than broke, if you will. So, even after an additional sanding and buffing, Def Jam's not talking, man. I put it in now, and we're instantly getting the disc is dirty or damaged message. So here we are, the age-old outcome. You know, the most expensive piece in the lot is DOA, and there is nothing I can do about it. Without that piece in the lot, now $25 becomes too much to have paid for this lot. And while I don't know the values on the rest of these exactly, we've been out of the market for a minute, my hopes aren't high. And the reason is because PS2 and original Xbox, they're just in their trash phase right now. They've been in it for a while. I mean, most of these games, unless they're really rare, are not bringing much, and sometimes not even much if they are. Really rare it may only mean 15, 20 bucks. So I think we're in trouble. Now we get into a mode where we stack up games that didn't work and we sell them in a lot. And that's okay to do as long as you're very transparent about the fact that they have been resurfaced already and still didn't work. You got to be really honest about that stuff so people know what they're buying. And they will still buy them. There's people with better industrial grade buffers that'll still take a whack at this for the right price, and you'll get a few bucks out of it. So we're going to try to do that. I ended up listing Star Wars Jedi Knight for $12.95. That's about the going rate, and it sold pretty quickly. So fees and shipping, gosh, shipping's worse than ever, but we still ended up with $7 and change in profit for this. And I'm happy with that. I just hope there's some other games in this lot that are going to hit just as hard and get us in the green. I only found one box and manual for a game in this lot, and it was Need for Speed Underground 2, which is great. I mean, I don't know who ripped the box art and the plastic off of these boxes. They're completely just desecrated, useless. But yeah, we get to wrap a new box around this game with a manual. That's going to help the value. I ended up putting it on there for 10 bucks, and it went pretty quick too. We ended up getting almost $5 in profit for this. Again, shipping just kills us these days, but that's decent money on this game. We're getting closer to our goal. You don't need me to tell you that the Need for Speed games were wildly successful, especially in this generation, and there were so many of them. I mean, Arcade Racer, okay, and you know, I like arcade racers, but by this time, I don't know, I was more of a Turismo guy. I liked that real deep customization. I just liked that. I didn't dislike Need for Speed, but I gravitated toward the more customizable stuff. But it doesn't matter what I think. These games are so popular. People still have such fantastic memories. I hear people talking all the time about back in the day playing these and their experiences. So people are still out to relive those, apparently. And while we're on Need for Speed, we've got Need for Speed Most Wanted. And you know, this was more Most Wanted on the next gen version of this, but this still sold very well. And I was glad that this is one of the ones that was, you know, complete in box, because again, we need all the value we can get here after taking the big hit early on. I put this game up for about $9, about the going rate given its condition. So we end up getting $4 and change for this one, and we're getting there, man. We're getting there slowly but surely. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Then we got the Godfather here that's complete in box, and that was really the only other one that was worth enough to sell on its own. I mean, you can't pay shipping on every single one or you just get devoured. They gotta be worth a certain amount before it's even worth listing them by themselves. But this one also I listed for $9, and it sold relatively quickly too. It's a cool game. It's a game that I would like to play through when I'm more caught up on my backlog. I don't know when that'll ever be, but The game is neat. It's very GTA-esque, and there's some really cool combat aspects going on. We've looked at this game on the show before, you know, PS2 version. This is Xbox. Yeah, we're gonna get $4 and change for this one too after all is said and done. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. I'm liking this. So what do we do with the leftovers? That's easy. We lot them all together because it's going to cost a lot less to ship these in a pile than it is to ship each individual one. And there's value in the lot too. You get some people fighting over these things in an auction, you may end up with more than you thought. I just threw this pile up there for 20 bucks because I felt that was what it was worth. Maybe a little bit more than what it was worth given the condition, but times like these, it went pretty quick. It's gone. So, you know, shipping's a little bit more obviously when you figure in the weight and you want to insure some of these things, but we still end up with about 10 bucks for our trouble. So now, you know, I can breathe a little easier. You know, we're not going to get rich off this lot, unfortunately, but we're also not going to take an L. That's important. There were some really good games in this lot. They're just so common that they really don't hold any value, unfortunately. And you got a lot of these that were just disc only and they weren't complete. So there's the other issue. So it's better just to put these in a pile and let them go. Somebody's going to have a lot of fun with these. The non-working discs at auction, I mean, how tremendous. We ended up with these things going for $23 and some change at auction, which is great. Again, you got to consider there's people with better resurfacers out there. I fully disclose what's wrong with these so they know what they're getting. I hope that these games can get out there and get a better chance at a second go around. But you know, that's great money. And even after paying the shipping through the nose, we're still ending up with almost 17 bucks in profit here. So, I mean, overall, with what we had invested in this lot, we're coming away with about $20 profit. No, we're not going to retire on that, but we're not taking the L either. This is a win. We made money. I mean, we almost doubled our money, which, you know, given the circumstances, is fantastic. And we got to take a look at some cool games. These are just fun to do. I love trying to bring life and quality back to games that have been out there and that have had it rough. So, yeah. What do you think about the series, man? Are you enjoying the pickups? Are you enjoying watching what we're doing here? Give me some feedback. Leave me a comment in the comment section of this video. You know I love hearing from you. If you enjoyed the show, I hope you're going to drop a like on this, and I hope that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show and be a part of Mer Nation. Fantastic stuff and more coming your way. We profited, right? Let's go get another lot. See you on the next one.